Greetings, everyone! Welcome to this episode of Histories of Hymns, Stories of Songs. And if you're watching this video on the day of release, Happy St. Patrick's Day! Today, we will take a brief look at a hymn that has ancient Irish origins, but is very much still alive and sung often in churches around the world today. That, of course, is the famous Irish hymn, Be Thou My Vision. While its true author is unknown, the origins of this hymn were undoubtedly Irish, going perhaps as far back as the 6th century. But the inspiration of the hymn may go back even further, to probably the most famous of Irish Christian figures, St. Patrick. Legend has it that around 433 AD, there was a high king in Ireland, and forgive my lack of ancient Irish pronunciation knowledge, named Loyoja of Tara, who decreed that until he lit a fire on Tara Hill, beginning the pagan spring festival, no one else could light any kind of fire at all, even a small candle. St. Patrick, refusing to honor anyone but Christ, and in direct defiance of this pagan ritual, ascended Slane Hill about 10 miles from Tara Hill, and lit a huge fire before the king lit his. Rather than execute him, the king was actually so impressed by St. Patrick's boldness and faith in God's protection that he allowed him to continue his missionary work. Perhaps the fear of God was put into the high king. A couple of interesting details about Be Thou My Vision are illuminated by this legend of St. Patrick. First, the idea of St. Patrick defying an Irish high king brings to mind the lyrics, High King of Heaven, O Ruler of All. While early Irish pagans had mortal clan leaders like High King Loyoja, this may reference early Irish Christians referring to God as their true clan leader and protector, greater than any human high king. Also, the hymn tune which we sing to Be Thou My Vision is entitled Slane, an obvious reference to Slane Hill, the site of St. Patrick's brave act of defiance against the pagan king. It is believed that the original text for Be Thou My Vision was written by a 6th century Irish poet, and again, forgive my pronunciation, named Dalan Forgail. He was likely inspired by St. Patrick's story, only his text was in Old Irish, which has little in common with modern English. The poem was titled Rop tu mobile. Up here in the top corner is a link to a recording of what that might have sounded like in Old Irish. Unfortunately, the oldest existing copy of this poem comes from the 14th century, and this copy did not list an author, so we can't know for sure if it was written by Forgail. This version of the hymn was sung in Ireland for centuries as a lorica, which is a hymn prayer for protection, calling on the power of God against evil in all forms. It wasn't until 1905 that an Irish linguist named Mary Elizabeth Byrne translated it into modern English. Mary was only 25 years old at the time, and still a student at the National University of Ireland. In 1912, another Irish woman, Eleanor Hall, took Miss Byrne's translation and set it to the music of Slane, the melody written anonymously to honor St. Patrick centuries ago. Thus, this ancient poem and ancient melody that had essentially died were resurrected and infused with new life, much like Christ died and rose again, and much like the story of any Christian, dying to sin and being born again. Be Thou My Vision remains a very popular and inspirational hymn in the church today, and is often set to new arrangements, such as this one, by Mackay Crockett. I hope you enjoy.
Be thou my vision, O Lord of my heart, not be all else to me, save that thou art. Thou my best thought, by day or by night. waking or sleeping, thy presence, my light, my still be my vision, O ruler of
Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like or a comment, and if there's a hymn that you would like featured in a future video, please let me know that in the comments as well. Thank you so much, and God bless.